Yeah, Manchester United have been linked with former Chelsea striker Timo Werner as they look to add options into their strike force in January. There are concerns about this. I think the major concern across all of these is that they're just not the level or excitement of what Manchester United need. You know, you'd rather be going for an Ivan Toney or a Victor Osimhen, but I believe in relation to what's available at the moment and the money that United have, you've got to shop in a certain outlet where people like Timo Werner are the most viable options. Look, I don't think Timo Werner at Chelsea was as bad as people think. I think he missed a lot of chances, but I think his overall game is still relatively decent. And what we're looking at here is, as I say, it's a short-term option to the summer. This is not a long-term signing unless he hits the ground running. Another option Manchester United have had linked to them this January transfer window is Choupo-Moting at Bayern Munich, which I think for me has to be one of the worst options that we've been linked to. At 34 years of age, he's done okay at Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich, I think I'd probably do okay at Bayern Munich if you played me a few games. This would be up there with probably someone like Weghorst, really. It's one thing bringing in a Cavani or a Ibrahimovic or a Ronaldo well into their 30s, but Choupo-Moting for me is a big no. It's more embarrassment level from rivals than acknowledgement of it being a good signing. So for me, it's a no, and it's ridiculously short term. Another player that Manchester United have been linked to from Bayern Munich, of course, is Thomas Müller. Look, 5 years ago, this would have been a fantastic signing, and it has echoes of Schweinsteiger, where we all got very excited about that as United fans, and then we realised very quickly why Bayern Munich would let a player of that status go. I think United would be foolish to do a deal like this, really foolish. They've made these mistakes so many times. This is not, again, the sort of signing that Manchester United should be making. Yeah, another option for Manchester United is also Guirassy of Stuttgart. This would be a permanent deal. It would not be a loan deal. He's got a release clause of around 17.5 million euros, I think, so about 15 million pounds. He scored a lot of goals for Stuttgart this season, but again, 28 years of age. Who else wants him? Do Arsenal want him? Do Chelsea want him? No, Manchester United apparently want him. And I think that, again, is a massive concern. You're much better off going with someone like Werner till the summer. Send him back if he's not good enough. But if you commit to someone like Guirassy, who could easily be a flash-in-the-pan striker that scored a few goals in Stuttgart, I don't believe this is the right signing for Manchester United. There's no doubt that Erik Ten Hag's under pressure, and I think some Manchester United fans would make that change. My question is always, who comes in? It's a bit like, throwing your toys out the pram because you're angry, but where's your other toys? And I think with regards to options out there, if you're hypothetically going to sack a manager, then you hypothetically should have an alternative. And I don't see enough good ones. First one I would discuss would probably be someone like Unai Emery at Aston Villa, where I think he'd be a fool to take the Manchester United job. Aston Villa, he's got a structure around him. He's got players that play for him. You haven't got those two things at Manchester United straight away, which makes your job hard. He'd be a great choice, but for me, it's a pie-in-the-sky choice at the moment. Another option would be Zinedine Zidane, 3 times Champions League winner with Real Madrid, not had a job since then. This tends to be the hipster Manchester United fan choice. Get rid of Ten Hag and bring Zidane in. The only problem is he doesn't speak English. He's got no intention of learning it, and he's got no intention of managing in England. But even if he did, I don't think he'd have any intention of managing Manchester United for the simple reason, look at his history. He had a Real Madrid side that was elite, and they won the Champions League 3 years in a row. There is no pedigree of Zidane looking to take a club in trouble. Another option is Graham Potter. He's been linked quite a lot over the last few weeks to having a good relationship with Ineos, and therefore, would Manchester United look to bring him in? He's free, he's available. I think wherever he is in the world, he'd swim, run and jog to Manchester to take that job, let's be honest. For me, it's just fraught with risk, and I just don't. I could see it going the same way as Chelsea, unfortunately. And finally, I think probably one of the most popularist choices would be someone like De Zerbi at Brighton, who I think Again, a little bit like Emery, maybe a bit of a fool to take the job, but I think he would. I think it's a bit like Caicedo going from Brighton to Chelsea. On paper, it's not a great deal for your career because Brighton are doing better, but it's Chelsea. Again, it looks like another non-starter, and it's another candidate that just doesn't jump out at you for all the right reasons. So yeah, looking at all of those candidates, if I had a choice now whether to sack Ten Hag and replace him with one of those candidates, would I do it? The honest answer is a firm no. I think that there is a much needed and overdue review going on at Manchester United. I think Ten Hag has to be part of that so that you can understand the problems, the mistakes he's made as well. I'd be looking at this in the summer. And if I was going to replace Ten Hag in the summer, I'd make sure I had a candidate that I was confident could come in and make big strides very quickly. I don't think any of those managers really fit that bill. If you could cut, the funny thing is, I think if you could accumulate them all together, they've all got little bits that could produce the manager that we need. But there are so many red flags there. So I'd be sticking with what we've got or looking at other candidates.